Gregoire, what's going on this season? Very exciting, a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure. Yes, as always. No, it's that time of year where we try to bring the very best of the art market and try to tell new stories.
Yeah, but what is the news story? What are the news stories?
New stories, but you see one behind me, which is a group of works coming from the estate of Dorothy Lichtenstein that we're going to offer after we were very successful last November with a group of works from the estate, and so they have decided to continue to work with us. So,
And that's how we discover that Liechtenstein is a conceptual artist.
for example, with that picture, which is exactly from the 60s, 68, which is it's a very famous group of work that he did, like painting the other side of a painting. And it's estimated 2.5 to 3.5, but it comes with a group of, and you will see from sculpture to works on paper, from early to late. There's really a little retrospective of Roy Lichtenstein coming up with us with work that have never been seen.
How many works?
There's going to be 40 works. That's going to be between the evening and the day sale. And it's going to tell the complete story of Roy. And I cannot think of of a more exciting estate, of an artist for an auction house like us to be able to offer the estate of Roy Lichtenstein is pretty fascinating. We did it with Warhol in the 90s, and to have Roy this season is pretty exciting. Yeah.
And what's the estimate of this painting?
This one is estimated $2.5 to $3.5 million. They are not the easiest or the most popular one because obviously it's minimal and pretty conceptual. But this is a group which is very, very important for him. You will see also in the collection one of the most famous sculpture that he has ever done, which is the wood. The maquette for the famous portrait of the girl. And then you will see like the famous painting called Art, which is you've seen it maybe on the social media. Which is the second version that he does in 1988. And then plenty of fantastic drawings, early and late.
But what does it mean to paint the back of a painting, to represent the back of a painting?
I think as the icon of pop art with Andy, probably. Late 60s, minimalism is already, something very, very strong and very powerful. And I think there's an amazing play from Roy to completely understand the time he's in. It's also the time of Donald Judd and Carl Andre and all those great minimalist artists. And I think Roy takes a play. He also looks at Rothko. It's the final years of Rothko. So there's something which is very much continue to be pop, to continue to take an object of today, of everyday's life, and then transform it into something.
But it can be seen also, as we say in French, a pied de nez to paintings, because
it's also
go away. There's nothing.
Sure, absolutely. There's a funny dimension to a picture like this one. There's something which is absolutely
Almost Dada. Huh?
Dada, we love Dada, obviously. Yes, I think artists are able to shift from and we know Roy for really pop, portraits. The Barbon, all those things that he has been playing early on, but then to shift and at the same time, he's going to do the modern painting that you will see also another example in our sales, where he plays on abstraction and takes also his view on abstraction. I think this is abstraction, but it's not abstraction. So it's a play on, it's a play on so many things with obviously a twist and a Dada spirit, where I think it's a very good
it's playing.
Yeah.
Enjoy himself. And Fine de Dio.
We have the fantastic group that Daniela Luxembourg has been consigning to us this season, which is
she's a dealer.
25 years of collecting, and it's a group which was in her townhouse in New York, and it's going to go from Fontana to Klaus Oldenburg to Calder to Pistoletto to Luciano Fabro to all these great artists that we don't see a lot in New York always. A lot of these Italian artists are sold usually in London. For me, it's going to bring me the spirit of Durand Dessert that I sold the collection on in 2005. The Scarpita from that group, which was at the time probably the best Arte Povera sale ever organized, is coming from the Durand Dessert sale. So it's also a little twist for me, which is quite sweet.
If we speak about the famous Fontana, what can we say?
Fine de Dio,
it's big egg.
Voilà, oval size, like an egg. Fine de Dio is the end of the day, but it's also the end of God, and it's really Fontana coming up. Is the slash is already present before that, but the shape. So it's going to be 38 pictures from that group that is shown by Iris Claire in 1964 at the Biennale de Venise. There's actually a very funny story where she rents a boat or she hangs the Finidio outside during the Biennale because at the time it's so edgy and so contemporary. And now they have become classic and icons of post-war.
And he put his fingers into the canvas, right?
Yeah, there's something which is pretty crazy because he slashes the canvas and then with his fingers, with all the paint that comes together, you can see his fingerprint on the picture. There's also some glitter like diamond dust like Warhol has been using on this picture. So it's a pink background cover with glitter, bronzish color, and you will see that there's something absolutely magical and religious and weird and strange, but so beautiful. And it's the moon, and it's another planet, and this capacity for Fontana to create this type of moments, and that's a fantastic example.
What about Kupka?
Kupka, another favorite, another one which has been a little bit on the side and not that well known. There was this beautiful Guggenheim show.
Pardon, one of the inventor of abstraction.
Exactly. There was this beautiful show at the Guggenheim Orphism recently, and this is a moment where it's not that well known because he's from Eastern Europe. So even if he comes to Paris quite quickly, but this is a group of works which, again, is very singular in his way of painting. Nothing looks like Kupka. He has been collected by a very passionate group of people, but it's not exactly, always
insiders, huh?
Exactly, insiders. And what a pleasure to bring Kupka, right front and center in New York, in our modern sale. Yeah.
So what can we say about the instability of the situation now? Political, economic?
Again, I'm not an economist, but if I look at the art market, I look at data as always. So I look at what's going on, what the results we had recently. We had the Paris sale, which was really strong in both auction houses. We had the fantastic roll that we sold in Hong Kong, 18th century with a imperial provenance, which on a $1 to $1.5 million estimate sold for 32 after more than an hour of bidding among multiple bidders. So data for us is actually telling us that it's actually good. But I think as always, the art market is that's why we love it so much. It's all about passion, and it's not something that always makes sense. And yes, we have to be careful. Clearly, there's less money available. The stock market has been challenging, but I feel that money is still around. And when you come up, with new stories like Roy or Daniela or the Kupkas or many more you're going to see this season, I think you actually feel good.
There's a lot of things to swallow this season, not only to swallow, to appreciate about art, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a season where, and it's always funny because you would think that in a season where it has been pretty challenging and difficult, you're going to see across houses a lot of different stories, big, small. Like there's going to be I think the offering is going to be actually spectacular. Maybe not the largest figures we've seen. It's not a macro season or a Paul Allen season, but it's a lot of fresh stories. I think our contemporary sale, like something like 65% of the works we're going to offer, it's going to be a first, which is pretty remarkable. Yeah. And from Basquiat to Calder, from Warhol, beautiful Warhol flowers, there's a lot of great stories we're going to tell. From Stella, I'm actually very excited by that season, if it is not the largest we ever had.
And is there a lot of guarantees?
There's guarantees and no guarantees. There's a guarantee, for example, on the Luxembourg group. There's a guarantee also on the Liechtenstein group, because we felt that was making sense for us. So market will talk, but we feel very good there.
Merci, monsieur.
Pleasure. Thank you.